Day 26 of our Thankful for 30 challenges here, and today we are going to talk about decluttering. Not just physically, but also mentally. So let's get into it.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you.
When it comes to decluttering, it was actually 1 year ago, this week, literally this week, that I took a week off of social media. I took a week to just give myself a mental break. But then while I was giving myself that mental break, I decided, you know what? I think I need to declutter. And I got rid of so much stuff. I was hanging on to clothes that I had had for years and years and years that I never actually wore. But in my mind, I was thinking I may wear it sometime, you never know. I got rid of, I think I ended up having 6 of those big, hefty 55, pound, gallon, whatever, trash bags. I had 5 or 6 of those packed. I had a bunch of shoes, all kinds of things. I, no joke, ended up getting rid of over 1,000 pieces of clothing, shoes, socks, all, you name it, coats, hats, everything. And it was the best feeling. Now, it was one of those things that after the fact, I was like, should I have taken some time to try to sell some of that stuff, make a little money? But honestly, it was the most freeing feeling to drive up to Goodwill and to take, put it in their bin and drive away and know that is gone. That clutter is gone. Over this last year, I have slowly but surely been finding pieces of clothing that truly make me feel good, because that was another piece. I had clothes that every time I put it on, I didn't like how it fit me, or I didn't like, my reflection. And I don't want to have clothes like that. There are some clothes that are just going to fit different bodies better than others. And there's no reason for me to keep an outfit or a piece of clothing that just never looks right on me, right? So I really did away with so much, and that decluttering process felt incredible. So on that same note, since I was already kind of taking this mental break from social media, all the things, I was like, you know what? We probably need to do some mental decluttering. And honestly, kind of how I started that was I cleaned my office. I believe it was a year ago that I rearranged my office the way that it is now. And then I just started going through, and I went through my vision board, which we've already done. If you follow my channel and you've seen in previous videos, we, at the start of Q4, in order to prep for Q4, we looked at our yearly vision board and basically went through and we put a big X through anything that we're like, you know what, realistically, there's no way I'm achieving this by the end of the year, or I'm not interested in that anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and put an X through it. Just by doing that, so much stress and overwhelm was taken away from me, because when I look at that vision board, which I do a lot, the whole reason I make the vision board is because I look at it a lot. I'm referencing up here because mine is up here, both my yearly vision board and my monthly vision board. And when I look up there, I see these things and I'm like, but I'm not working on that. But then I had to remind myself, but I don't want to work on that yet, or that's not interesting to me anymore, or it's just not what my goals, it's not the phase of life I'm currently in right now, right? So by putting those X's through, when I look up there, I'm like, I don't have to worry about them. I literally do not have to worry about them. And it was so nice. So that was a huge piece of that mental declutter, which we've already done so far this year. But if you haven't done that, I highly encourage you going through and doing that. The next thing is, you may just have a lot going on in your brain right now. We are in a really busy season of the year. The holidays are here. It's Q4. Depending on your job, that might be a really stressful time at work. And so right now would be a time to truly do maybe a brain dump. Grab yourself a notebook, piece of paper, whatever, and just dump everything out of your brain that you are currently thinking about needs to get done between now and the end of the year, or whatever that looks like. So it could be anything from, kid stuff, school stuff, concerts, those sorts of things coming up, to work stuff that you have, to your own personal health and life and whatever, to, maybe personal property taxes and things like that. Literally get everything out of your brain, because it's cluttering it and it's time to declutter it. And I promise you, when you start to get all that out, at first it may seem a little overwhelming, but then you're going to go through and you're going to prioritize, and you're going to be like, okay, what of this actually matters right now? Immediately in this day. Okay. What matters tomorrow? What matters in this week? Then moving into the next week, what matters next week? What matters by the end of this month? What matters going into next month? We only have a few weeks left of the entire year, right? What did we at? 5 weeks left of the year. So obviously, there's not a ton of time, but there's more time than you think. And when you do that brain dump process, and then you start to go through and be very realistic of okay, but what actually needs to happen today? Because there might be things stressing you out on Christmas Day right now that you don't actually need to worry about yet, right? Like maybe you're thinking of, you want to start a tradition with your family of, one thing that my family did growing up was we always made cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning, okay? So maybe you're already thinking about like, okay, I want to start a tradition. I want to start this. I want to find a recipe, you know, whatever that we can start doing or something. That's great. And I want you to still do that. Put it on your brain dump list, but put it off for a little bit. You don't need to do that right here, right now, today, right? That can be something that can be put off till next week. If you need to get groceries or order some things for it, sure. Give yourself ample time, but it doesn't need to be bogging you down and stressing you out today, right now. So that's what we're focusing on. We are focusing on decluttering physically, getting rid of stuff that's just bothering you. If your house is a mess, I promise you, it's stressing you out whether you realize it or not. Even if you're somebody who thinks that you can live through that and it not be a bother, I promise you it's bothering you more than you realize. So take some time. What I like to do, and this is what I've done this month actually on my habit tracker, I have tidy for 10 minutes is the very last one on my habit tracker. That is something I literally will set a timer. You can set a timer or you can just look at the clock, whatever. But I will literally walk through the house and just pick up things, fold blankets, you know, do things that need to be done for 10 minutes. You can do that. And I promise you by the end of those 10 minutes, you'll either have a momentum going and you'll keep going, or you'll stop and you'll feel really good. When you do that consistently, your house stays a lot more clean than when you don't do it at all. I promise you. So simple little things, but start right now today. Go ahead and get this done, because by doing this, you're going to have a smoother December, which means going into the new year, you're going to feel more clear on what it is that you're after and the goals that you're working towards. And that is what we're after here. You know, that's what we're trying to do. And once it's all said and done, when you declutter your space, when you declutter your brain, you're going to feel so good and so thankful that you did it. I'm telling you, it is like the biggest weight lifted off of your shoulders, and you are just going to feel incredible. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it. That is my goal for you, to try it regardless, but trust me when I say it's going to feel so good and you are going to be so appreciative that you took the time to do it. So that is what I've got for you on this day 26. I will see you in tomorrow's video. We just have a few left, but I'm loving this and we are going to finish strong. So see ya.